welcome to NSA New Mexico Speakers Corner. It's not it's the National Speakers Association, not the National Security Agency we're talking about here today. I'm Gail Rubin, a past president of the New Mexico chapter of NSA New Mexico, where we're talking about and with professional speakers here in New Mexico. And today we have Janelle Barlow, who is a longtime professional speaker and a more recent New Mexico resident, coming here after your long career in customer service. You are a thought leader in customer service. How did you come to do that?
I started doing programs. They went very well, and then I started doing research, and then I wrote the book, A Complaint is a Gift, and then that really set it off. That book, the title of that book is so compelling, A Complaint is a Gift. Actually, most people can't even look at it and think a complaint is a gift. It doesn't make sense to them because, they're the opposites.
Well, complaints, it just feels like an attack or it's something unpleasant to be the recipient of.
Yep.
So how can a complaint be a gift?
Well, there's a bunch of reasons, but the obvious one is that you can maybe keep those customers if you handle that complaint well. And you probably a business probably spent quite a bit of money making that customer theirs, and then something happens and the customer leaves, and you've really lost that investment in that customer.
And so how does one approach this idea that a complaint is a gift? Is it a certain mindset?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Gail. It's a mindset. But most people don't see complaints as gifts. When I wrote the first edition of A Complaint is a Gift, and that's the second edition you have there. The third one is going to be coming out in November. November 9th is when it gets launched. And when I first did this, I would go into bookstores and do book signings and talks about it. And there's so many people who would make the announcement from the front of the bookstore, and they would say, and we have Janelle Barlow in the bookstore, and she's going to talk to us about a compliment is a gift. I mean, they literally, they literally couldn't even read it from the book title. It's so ingrained that these complaints are horrible, nasty things that we have to endure. It's very, very hard for companies to keep people who deal with complaints. They got to shift their mindset about what it is that they're doing.
So what kind of companies would work with you?
It's really tremendous numbers of different kinds, but obviously the hospitality industry. So that includes entertainment and cruising and you name it. Anything that deals with hospitality, hotels.
So you got to go on cruises, and it was a business trip?
I worked with Viking Cruises. We designed their entire service program. It was just a wonderful it was just a wonderful opportunity. And they got it. They got it that a complaint is a gift. And yes, then you can get into manufacturing because the complaints don't just come from the outside, from customers to the inside. The complaints also come internally. And if you've got one department fighting another because they're not cooperating with each other about what needs to be done, that's a real problem.
I was reading your book and saw that there was a sentence that you had written out feedback for a hotel, and as you were checking out and leaving, you saw that the desk clerk had ripped it up.
Yeah, I put it in their little box, and I did it just to see what would happen. Put it in the little box that said feedback forms. They never call them complaint forms, never. I mean, that's part of that. And then I just stood there and watched, and they looked at it, and she read it, and she just ripped it up and put it in the, it's really common because, you see, the frontline staff get into trouble when they get complaints. They're considered to be the ones who somehow or other are to be blamed for these complaints. Mm-hmm. So, and some companies actually set policies to reduce complaints. And that's a real danger because then what can happen is that frontline, like that woman who threw this thing away, probably somebody said to her, we're sick and tired of hearing about this complaint, and she will help her boss out by not letting her boss see how sick and tired the customers are of this situation.
But in the process of looking at the complaint as a gift, you write that it's free marketing research.
Yeah.
How does that work?
You know, it's like you got your fingers on the pulse of the customers. If the customers are good enough to tell you, and they aren't. Now, in retail business, for example, so 96% of customers will never say anything amazing to somebody who can help them fix the problem. Now, they will tell other people, and that's where our reputations get destroyed, is you believe what your friends say. You're at a dinner party and somebody says, and you believe that, and it's in your head almost as if you had that experience yourself. So it's free research. And if a company can handle a complaint well, if they can treat it as a gift, then what happens is that customer no longer has a need to go out and tell 30 people or however many they're going to tell, especially online.
Well, and if it is appropriately handled, you say that the customer can become yours for life.
Yeah,
They'll
certainly they'll be
fan.
stronger. They'll
Yeah.
buy more. Yes, they will. They
Yeah.
definitely. There's lots of research about that. In fact, there's some research that suggests that 25% of all really loyal customers who get that attitude in their head, it started with a negative experience that got handled well. And you know, if you just think about it from families, if a family has a problem and they can fix that, they can resolve it, the intimacy, the strength of that partnership becomes stronger. If they never have any problems, then just about anything can tear them apart. So, but I believe very strongly that because they're gifts, what we do is we say thank you when we get a gift. And that's one of the starting points that we make, is to thank the customer. And you just, as long as you keep saying that, you reinforce this whole notion of a complaint is a gift. This is a person who's going to help me by giving me some feedback that maybe I can use. But it is a mindset.
And so we have a little piece of video of you actually demonstrating this idea.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that video.
Great.
Anybody who's having a birthday today? You are? Would you be willing to, it's your birthday, would you be willing to come up here? We won't embarrass him by singing happy birthday. How about that? We won't do that. Because I know some people really hate that birthday song. But let's try something here. Oh, she's even gonna mic him. Does it feel like a special day to you? Are you that kind of?
It's a wonderful day.
It's a wonderful day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, now let's pretend for just a moment that you and I are colleagues here at USAA, and it's your birthday, and you and I work together. We see each other around, okay? Sure. And so I come up to you and I say, tell me, what is your name? First of all, I should know that.
Rafe.
Rafe. Rafe.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Janelle. How are you doing?
Special day today, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, it's not much, but I just wanted you to know that it's just a little something for you for your birthday.
Oh, nice of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You want to look at
Is this going with my parking space too?
Do you get a parking space?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
Oh, thank you.
It's really nothing. It's nothing. It's just a little box. You know, I notice you have things on your desk, and sometimes you can put little, you can just put little things in there. Yeah, it's handmade. I got it in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, with your jewelry?
You like it?
Sure, it's great.
Okay, give me that. Oh. All right. Okay. Okay.
I wanted that.
Okay. I'm the complaining customer.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to say to you that I have been put on hold for the last 5 minutes, and I just think that's an unacceptable standard here at USAA.
I'm sorry to hear that you're encountering that.
So am I.
Janelle.
That's why I said it.
Okay. Goodness. I just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I've been to a seminar. Okay.
What do you think? Think he can do better? Yeah, you can do better. Here, let's try this again. Let's try this again. It's your birthday. Okay? It's your birthday again. You'll get lots of birthdays today. Hi, Ray.
I feel like a Pavlov dog. I'm being trained to say the right thing.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Janelle.
Special day today. You look wonderful. You know, do you use special creams or something?
No.
You look great. You look fantastic. Listen, this is nothing much, but I just wanted you to know that I was thinking about you, and I just got you this little...
Oh, how wonderful. Is it something from Malaysia?
How did you know?
Like it?
Oh, do you like it?
Oh, yes. I love wood products.
Oh, great. I'm so glad.
You really know my character.
Yeah, well, I'm so
Let me
glad.
open it and see what it is.
Yeah, it's just for putting things in. You could put licorice in here and pencils.
Yeah, pencils would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, or paper clips. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, give me that. All right. Okay, I'm the complaining customer. I just wanted to call and say that I think USAA is getting too darn big.
Well, we are getting bigger.
Yeah.
We're going to build two more buildings.
Really? So it's going to get worse.
More people. And you know what? We're getting better at handling complaints.
You are. Okay, what do you think? Think you can do better? Okay, all right. Now we're gonna do this again. Now I want you to notice.
This is being taped.
You'll never forget this birthday. I want you to notice what you say to me when I come up to you. Hi, Rafe.
Hi, Janelle.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Click, 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 click.
It's nothing much, but I just wanted to give you this little...
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I think he's ready. Okay, let's try this again. Hi. I just wanted to say to you that I think your rates are getting too high.
Well, hello, Janelle. Let me talk to you. Okay. You're giving me a gift of a complaint.
Yes? Let's try it again. Your birthday gift, you say,
Thank you.
okay, now I'm the complaining customer. I just wanted to say to you that I think your rates are too high.
Thank you for letting
Yes!
me. Wow.
Now, why should he thank me? Yeah, because I'm getting a gift, and I'm giving him a gift, and what do we do when people give us a gift? And we say thank you. This is yours.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
And I just have to say you're an attractive lady.
Well, thank you. That was a compliment. I suppose I should give this one away. You know, it's amazing what can happen if you say thank you as the first thing, and it's a logical thing to say.
And he had to work for that, boy.
Yeah, you know what? I have taught this to so many, literally thousands of people. And then people that I've taught have taught it to other thousands. And if they can remember to say it, because the first inclination when somebody attacks you is not to say thank you.
Right.
But if you can remember to say it, if you can get that in your mindset, as the customer walks up to you and they're going to give me a gift, I'm going to say, thank you so much for letting me know.
Yeah. Well, and that is a hard thing to do when
It is.
somebody is getting in your face and,
Yeah.
and complaining.
That's right. Yeah, it is.
How do
Yeah.
you get into that mindset? Just
You know, this is where I think education comes in. I think you have to have some practice in doing it. You have to have a real sense of belief that this is in fact a gift. If you see it as something that is an attack, then you're not going to say thank you. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Now, some people, when I do that demonstration, just watching somebody else, there would have been some people in that audience who left that room and then just instantly started saying thank you. And other people, not so much. I remember once doing a program for Hewlett-Packard, and it was a day-long program. We spent the whole day doing thank you, and I'd give them examples, and they would say thank you. And at the very end of the day, I said, okay, let's try it one more time. So there was a woman in the room, and I gave her a complaint, something that had happened. And she looked at me, she said, that's not my job.
oh, ooh.
And the whole group, we've been talking about this all day long, and the whole group just started laughing because, you know, she didn't get it.
Oh, man.
She didn't get it, and I don't know what it takes to get somebody like that to make that change. But when you make that change, people have told me just some incredible stories about how they have saved business for their company in major ways. I mean, really major ways.
So as a speaker, how do you make money doing what you do?
Well, I make some money off books. Authors don't make that much money, but
it's a calling card.
it's a calling card, and it's been around since the first volume came out in 1988, and it sold 300,000 copies. So I've made some money, and the more I sell, the more the publisher gives me. So there is money to be made there if it sells well. And the other way that I make it is through speaking. That's really I'm able to raise my fees. I'm able, people want the author of the book to speak to them. So there's money to be made there. I made a lot of money that way. But where I really made the money is in designing programs for organizations. Training programs, consulting programs. So when we worked with Viking Cruises, I think I worked with them for 5 years with a whole team of people. And I made a lot of money.
Well, and that's return business in training.
That's right.
There's turnover and new people.
Right. And I've worked a lot with casinos. I've made a lot of money. Took some of that money that people put into the slot machines and turned it back over to me. Because, organizations don't know how to teach people to really handle complaints effectively. It is an ongoing, continuing problem. They just don't know how to turn that around. Part of what they do is they just say to people, they say to their staff, this is what you should say. And typically what they tell them to say is to start off by saying, I'm sorry. And when somebody says that to me, when I complain and they say, I'm sorry, I say back to them, well, I'm sorry too.
Not really getting off on a good foot with that conversation.
They say that they're sorry before they've even heard me say what my issue is. It's really a ridiculous thing to start off a conversation is I'm sorry.
I would think saying thank you is sort of like verbal jujitsu, where you're turning the energy around.
Totally. It's what people call, it's part of a communication chain. And the chain is that when I say to you thank you, then you would automatically say,
you're welcome?
You're welcome, exactly. That's what we say. We say, thank you, you're welcome. And now we've got two statements that are positive, and now I can say something else. I could say, I'm really grateful that you told me, that you're telling me this. This is really important for me to know, and I'd like to know as much as I can about this so I can fix this so it doesn't happen again. Now, I'm making a statement about quality for my company, and if you heard me say that, you'd think, wow, that woman wants to help me. She's not just going to try to blame me, or, well, if you hadn't bought those slacks that were too tight, the rear end wouldn't have ripped out. She's not going to blame me. She's not going to, whatever it is that people do, because they do, they blame. They blame the customer.
Now, you have been speaking for decades, and you came to New Mexico. But you're a relative newcomer to New Mexico. Talk a little bit about your experience with the National Speakers Association and the various places that you've lived.
Well, I joined in the National Speakers Association in San Francisco. They had, just a couple of years earlier, had started this very robust speaking group. Patricia Fripp is a name I think you know. She was the one who started it, and she really, and San Francisco had a huge speaking community. And so she set that up, and I joined it after a couple of years when I first met her. And then I just stayed in it. And I went through all the leadership positions in Northern California. It was a great chapter. And, speakers spend a lot of time on the road. They're going from one place to another. And so when you have this community of people that you can go to a meeting every month, or events throughout the year, parties, all of these kinds of things, then you really form a community. And so that happened to me in San Francisco, and then I moved to Las Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas, not New Mexico, in Nevada. I lived there for 19 years.
Wow.
Now, I was a member of the association, but I didn't do much with it. Today, they're a very robust chapter, but back then they were still struggling, and I wanted to be, so I got involved with a national organization. So there's all these chapters. I think there's 26 of them. And then there's the national organization with about I'm not sure, 17 or 1,800 members now, something like that. It's a big group. And so I served on their board, and then I got involved with the Global Speakers Federation. I became president of that. And I mean, all of that just meant I kept meeting different people, just some of the most wonderful, fantastic people I don't think I would ever have met anyplace else.
Speakers are unique people.
They are unique. Yes, they are. I mean, you know, when you think that this person gets up in front of a group of strangers and delivers content, material, or entertainment, and it's not easy. It is not easy. I mean, I don't get nervous, but I very much appreciate the fact that I could blow it, and I appreciate the fact that these people are giving me their time, and I want to do the best job that I possibly can for them with the content and the information that I have. And that's a burden. It's a real burden. Because you know, you can stand up in front of a group and really say some stupid things.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
I certainly have done that.
And then you came to New Mexico, and you had an instant group of friends.
Yes, and I said that when I came. I don't know if you were at the first meeting, but I introduced myself and I said I wanted to join because I don't know anybody, and this is the way to make friends. And I have. I've made a whole community of friends, really wonderful people here in New Mexico.
And we've both taken turns. In fact, after you joined, I was president when you joined, and then you became president the following year.
That's right. I had big shoes to follow there. You really did a great job.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, and then we got hit with COVID.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was president during, was that the first COVID year or the second COVID year?
Well, I was president in March of 2020.
Oh.
So the rest of that year we were online.
Right, and then, and then I was the next year, and we did everything.
Everything online.
Yeah.
But it was remarkably successful.
Remarkably
and we have all these videos of those meetings and those speakers sharing their advice. And I would like to make the point that if you join the local chapter, the NSA New Mexico chapter, you would have access to all of those videos that we have on file from past meetings.
Right.
And these are speakers from across the country coming in on Zoom.
Around the world, some of them have come in.
Yeah, that speak to us and provide valuable information about how to be a speaker, ways to improve your communications, and doing just all sorts of amazing sharing of information.
And that's, the National Speakers Association is known for how it shares. I mean, what we don't like people to get up and take our content and deliver it as if it's their own.
Right.
That's not good.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. But I can tell you how I did it. And if you ask me, you can call me, I'll give you my time. That's just something that the NSA is all about.
Yeah. Although I have to let on, you know, my topic is talking about planning ahead for end-of-life issues, and some of our high-level NSA speakers who came to visit in past years, they were like, you know, you're real cute, but drop the death stuff.
Well, I remember the first time I heard you say that you talked on that, I thought, how does she do that? How do you make a living talking? And then I began to think about, because I've talked to funeral associations, and obviously there's associations, everybody has this issue. And Gail, everybody has a complaint issue too.
Yes.
So we're talking about universal issues here.
Absolutely. And that's the key to being a good speaker, to be able to speak universally as well as specifically.
Well, universally, and then making your message as specific as you can.
Yes. Yeah. And so your third edition of A Complaint is a Gift is coming out in November of 2022.
This year, November the 9th.
And
so
what's different in the third edition that the second or
well,
the
the
first
basic
didn't have?
philosophy is there. This book here has a gift formula. You know, thank you for letting me know. I'm so sorry that this happened, and I'll take care of it right away. That's the first. It's an 8-step formula. And what I discovered is people could get the first 4 steps. They would remember those. The last step is to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, this is where you have to go back inside the organization, so you're not repeating these same mistakes over and over. If you're not learning, then what's happening? Mm-hmm. So what I did was I converted those 8 steps into 3. I didn't leave anything
Simplify.
out. Right, but it's
Combine, yeah.
it's there. The first part is building that rapport and developing that relationship so the customer knows that you're going to take care of them. The second part is getting enough information so that you can fix the problem. And then the third part is making sure it doesn't happen again. So it's now down to three steps, yeah. So that's different. I put in there, there's 2 chapters on online complaining. This is where the world is going, is with online complaining.
Yeah.
And there's some researchers now who are working with analysis of big data. And, there's one research study that I quote extensively in the book. So they looked at 20 million complaints. I mean, it's
Wow, it's a lot.
and this was just on 4 hotel platforms. And then so there's some basic questions that people had asked, like, should I respond to positive feedback? And the answer to that, surprisingly, is maybe, but way down the line, the first piece of information you should pay attention to are the negative pieces.
Complaints,
Yeah,
yes. 'cause
that's right.
complaints
Get those out of the way.
So where can people find you online, speaking of online?
Well, I have a website, but it's all going to come up really. We're a little unsure whether we're going to release the website before the book is. I think we're going to release it probably in October. So it'll be
But
up a month.
you have your own JanelleBarlow.com website?
Yes, but I don't encourage people to even look at
Don't
that.
go there.
Don't go
Okay.
there, because what I did since I moved here and since the COVID pandemic, I've really narrowed my speaking field. Like, you're talking about one thing, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm only talking about complaint handling. That's all I'm doing. So the JanelleBarlow.com has a whole bunch of other topics.
All the other things you've talked about.
Yeah,
in
and
your
I'm just
career.
not going to do that
Okay.
anymore. I'm going to become the complaint lady, and
Okay.
that's just that.
Well, Janelle, thank you so much. This has been so enlightening, and
It's been fun.
yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to encourage all of you to check out the NSA New Mexico website, NSA-NM.org. We have regular meetings, both in person and online. And if you become a member of our local chapter, you'll have the opportunity to be a guest on NSA New Mexico Speakers Corner. We're going to wrap up with a look at our 2022 speaker showcase that we recorded here at Studio 519. Thank you to Studio 519 for having us. And we'll see you for the next Speakers Corner episode.